we'll get on with the review. So, the PlayStation 5 review in 2022 and above. Welcome to the channel, guys. It's me, Ren Creates, creating the gaming content for you. And today we're going to be taking a look at the PlayStation 5. I got this for Christmas. Absolutely so excited. And I can't wait, just about a month afterwards. I'm going to be releasing a review of the PlayStation 5 and if it's worth it. And overall, a lot of you guys really wanted an input for the PlayStation 5 as they're still scarce to this day. So I can't wait to bring that content to you guys. So without any further ado, here we go. Before we start, there are timestamps in the description below. So if there's a certain segment you want to get to in the review, you can do that easily with the click of a button. But in the meantime, let's get on with the PlayStation 5 review in 2022. Let's get started. Okay, so if you guys watched my unboxing of the PlayStation 5, you guys are more than well aware of the unboxing and of course that beautiful first starting screen, which I think is absolutely amazing, but that also is a part of that video. So if you want the real unboxing and the first impressions along with the first loading screen, that is the video for you. However, this video is going to go way more in depth than that video could ever go into, but overall let's go over what the PlayStation 5 comes with. So to quickly sum up what the PlayStation 5 comes with, it comes with the console itself, one power adapter which can be used with the other PlayStations that were previously made, one HDMI cord, one USB port which is to charge your controller, and of course, besides the instructions, PlayStation 5 DualShock controller itself. Very beautiful, and if there was one thing to be excited for, the new controller integration and just design is absolutely incredible. I can't wait to get into this part of the review. But first, we should go over a few of the console features. The design of the PlayStation 5, as you've seen, takes on more of a tower stance rather than the low profile PlayStations that we've had in the past. Even though you could theoretically put it on its side and use it like that, which honestly by design I don't think is intended, but can be done just because of how the console was designed with this almost wave-like structure. The overall console looks beautiful, but it doesn't really make too good when you need to put it in a spot for when you're gaming, whether it be on a cabinet, next to your TV, or even underneath your TV if you have the room. Understandably, the console is far more powerful than the PlayStation 4, and all of these rumors about the PlayStation 5 overheating and becoming a grill from the krusty krab just isn't true. Okay, maybe back in the day they got really hot, which is why the PlayStation 5 had to be postponed a bit, but now that it's here, I can proudly tell you that there is no overheating with this console. Mostly due to the design, as the design has many openings within its console for air to blow through and to keep the whole system cool. If it wasn't for this, it probably would end up just blowing up, so I'm glad that that is there. The reason why I'm bringing up overheating is because when I first got this system, I basically abused the heck out of it. I've been waiting to play Demon's Souls for 4 years, and finally getting my hands on it while avoiding spoilers was incredible. Played the game blind, 2 weeks, got the Platinum Trophy, and I was able to get the Penetrator set as well, so thank you guys to everybody who helped me out on that. You guys really are the best. Overall, what I'm trying to say is that I use this thing a lot, and it's overall been able to handle itself very easily. As a matter of fact, I don't think I've had any issues with it loading. I didn't experience any crashes playing new and old games, so overall it is running as expected. As I mentioned before, it has many openings within the console itself so that it doesn't overheat and the fans can keep the whole system cool, which overall helps because it doesn't hinder the gameplay performance. There are two versions of the PlayStation 5. There is the disc version, which I have right here, and then there is the virtual version, which for those guys who don't know the difference, disc version has a place to insert your physical copy games and is also $100 more, retailed at $500 US, which we were able to get it at. Yeah, we didn't get scalped. Don't buy them if they're overpriced. Please, you're wasting your money. Trust me. Then the virtual version is $400 less at $400. So if you're spending any more than those, you're getting ripped off. Stop. Now when we go over buttons, the PlayStation 5 does have a few buttons and connection ports for your cords. So we can go over them here. The disc version comes with a disc port along with an eject button at the bottom, right above the power button. Then you have a Bluetooth port along with the HDMI port in the front. Now in the back, You have two USB ports, a LAN port for if you're going to be doing streaming or for some reason you have wired internet, an HDMI port, and a power adapter port, along with many openings for the fans. As I mentioned before, the design is kind of waved, and it does have the PlayStation sign engraved in the front in black to complement the white. Also on the inside, it does have the controls of triangle, circle, cross, and square, which is really cool since that's the PlayStation Classic. But overall, the physical overview of the console is honestly pretty unique, especially compared to the previous consoles that we've had from PlayStation, which all kind of sport the black, thin, low-profile console. This one takes it a step further, and let me tell you, it is a whole nother level above from previous PlayStations. However, the controller is definitely where it's at. But before we get into that, one more thing. I know the most forgettable thing the PlayStation 5 is the holder. I guess it's here so that the PlayStation 5 doesn't slip. Overall, it's pretty cheap. It has rubber stoppers on the bottom to keep it in place. Overall assembly of it is not that great. As a matter of fact, the overall assembly, the instructions really need to do a better job of how to integrate it with your console. Overall, even the instructions don't do a good job, and even though you can put it on if you want to keep it up, honestly, I think you could even do without it, since if people really wanted to put it this way, or put it horizontally, why not just put rubber stoppers on the bottom of the console? Is the console really that much of a grill that it's going to melt the rubber? I would hope not, but again. Now to the controller. So the controller around this time is absolutely phenomenal. The controller is probably one of the greatest aspects of the PS5. Not only because of its new design, but also because of the HD rumble and haptic feedback. Now HD rumble and haptic feedback have been around for quite some time. They are not new to the table, but for gaming, and especially for the PlayStation 5 controller, it's definitely incredible to have. Ergonomically, the feel is fantastic. I've always favored PlayStation over Xbox just because the analog sticks are right next to each other, making it comfortable for my thumbs. Also, this makes it easier to claw grip, because in past generations, whether it be PlayStation or Xbox, I've always found it hard to claw a controller because I feel like, oh my god, am I going to press the button? Am I going to press the L2s? Am I going to press the right triggers? And now, thanks to the PlayStation 5 and playing around with it a lot, I've gotten used to clawing, and when I come back to use DualShock 4, it's surprisingly very easy. As a matter of fact, PlayStation 5 helped me get good at clawing, so there's another really cool feature that it's not really designed to do, but it's there if you're trying to learn to do claw grip. Amazing to have the PlayStation 5. Also, the PlayStation 5 controller does kind of take on a Xbox controller in a way, and Xbox, it's great. The controllers are definitely really great gamer classics, although I still don't like the analog sticks being one above the other, kind of like what Nintendo does, but still, nice to know. We're going to get to haptic feedback in a bit, but first off, we gotta talk about the controller's features, because the controller has more features than just HD rumble and haptic feedback. Now, it does have all the buttons that the PlayStation 4 has. You have the touchpad on the front, which you can click left and right. It does have the PlayStation button, the two analog sticks, the right and left triggers. You also have R3 and L3, triangle, circle, cross, square, and the D-pad, along with options and your streaming button. Now, I know that the PlayStation 4 does indeed have a speaker, which so does PlayStation 5. They also both have head jacks, and they also both have ports to charge them. However, what the PlayStation 5 has over this, and mostly due to its design for being a lot bigger than the PlayStation 4 DualShock, it's understandable, is that this not only has a built-in speaker, but it also has a built-in microphone. So when you're playing online or want to make a video or something like that, it comes with it integrated. Now, the PlayStation 4 did come with a one earbud cord with microphone type of extension in it for you to put on your PlayStation, and that was really weird. But now you kind of don't have to do that, because now you can not only hear the haptic feedback, but you can also hear your friends that you're talking to when online playing games, and you can talk to them as well. And I mess around with the settings in PlayStation's home menu, and overall, when I talk to my friends, I've talked to multiple of my friends, by the way, they've all said I sound perfectly fine and clear when on the PlayStation 5 microphone controller. So overall, that's awesome that they have it. But again, if you have a headset, got the headphone jack there too. Also, there's a lot of Also, with your accessories on PlayStation, you can actually mess around in the PlayStation menu to find the best settings for your controller and other accessories as well, which is really cool, but we will get into that in a little bit. Now let's talk about the HD rumble and haptic feedback. HD rumble is exactly what you're expecting. When you get hit in a game or heal or basically do any sort of action that would usually have some type of reaction, the controller will rumble a bit. Sometimes more than others, depending on what type of impact is in the game and how intense it is, will also depend on how intense your rumble and the feeling of the vibration is going to be. So that's really cool. If you don't have much money or you don't have any PlayStation 5 exclusives that really take advantage of the haptic feedback and HD rumble, when you first start up your PlayStation 4, it will instantly download Astro's Playroom. Astro's Playroom is basically a way to test out and play around with the haptic feedback and HD rumble. If you want to get used to HD rumble and haptic feedback, Astro's Playroom is the way to go. Overall, haptic feedback, what I've noticed it the most is when I use a bow in Demon Souls. Because I can actually feel the tension of the bow being pushed up upon when I'm pressing down on the R2 trigger. And overall, it just adds another bit of realism and feature to the game that is absolutely incredible. It's what I was hoping for. There is a few other ones, like not really when you swing a weapon. I've heard in 2K though, like when your energy drains, like you can kind of like feel it in the right trigger controls, which it is in R2. I haven't felt it at all in R1 or L1. It all is in the 2 triggers in the back, which is where the mechanics are in place. So if you were wondering, that's where the controls are at for the haptic feedback. However, the last thing I want to point out about the PlayStation 5 is the design on the back. Now, the plastic overall is very smooth on the top, but on the back where you wrap your fingers around, there's this type of material that feels kind of grippy, even though it's still just a plastic. I think it's absolutely a nice touch to the PlayStation 5, and I'm glad that it's there. Now, keep in mind, if you want the controller, believe it or not, if you play on PC, certain PC games do indeed support haptic feedback and HD rumble, and you can take advantage of that with the PlayStation 5 controller, which you can buy now for around $60 to $70 US. So if you really can't wait to buy a PlayStation 5 and you want to try out the haptic feedback, you can do that with certain Steam games with the PlayStation 5 controller if you decide to buy one for yourself. So that is really, really cool if you can't wait to get your hands on a PlayStation 5. We've gone over the console overview, we've gone over the controller. Now let's get into a few features that are built into the PlayStation 5, because it does not end there. I will see you guys over on the PlayStation 5. So getting into the virtual portion of the PlayStation 5, I first want to start with screen and video. Screen and video settings is probably one of the coolest features that I was really excited for when the PlayStation 5 first came out, as the PlayStation 5 supports 8K resolution, which I believe is the highest fidelity on the market right now, and 4K 120 frames or hertz, which is pretty cool, along with HDR, which is high definition range. And in the settings, you can show your video output information, your resolution, your 4K video transfer rate, your HDR, which you can see what your video output settings are right on the screen here, that I'll present to you guys in case you want any more in-depth on that I can't provide. And then you can adjust your HDR, deep color output, and enable your 120Hz output. Now, unfortunately for me, I can't really do any of that because my TV that I'm using does not support that feature. I am thinking on eventually investing in getting one in the future, so if you are someone that wants that output, it might not be a bad idea to subscribe and hit the notification bell. But moving on to screen, you can adjust your screen display area, which you're actually required to do when setting up your PlayStation 5 for the first time. But if you don't like it for some reason, you can come back to the settings here and change it. Also, you can dim the screen when inactive, so after 15 seconds, half an hour, or never if you really want to. And then BD/DVD is just for like your language and Blu-ray, and you know what I'm talking about. On the PlayStation 5, when you press the share button, you're given a few options. These options include taking a screenshot, starting a new screen recording, and recording the previous gameplay. Also, you can stream with the broadcasting setting with either YouTube or Twitch. You can also go into your settings to modify what type of screenshot you want it to be, which could be a JPG or a PNG file. Also, for video clips, you can have it be the most effective, which is a WebM file, or you could have it be the MP4 file, which is the most compatible. It also gives you the option to include your mic's audio and your voice chat audio as well, which is very nice. Also, to the far left, you can check out your album and your most recent picks. One of the newest features of the PlayStation 5 is pressing the PlayStation button, which takes you to your new PS menu. which in its PlayStation menu for games like Demon's Souls has the ability to warp you to areas and locations in the game just with the press of a button. Also, it can show recent news, people you follow, and new screenshots and video recordings of the game, along with the new settings, which has a shortcut to get you back to your home menu, games you can switch between that you've recently played, notifications, your friends and DMs, music you can play like Spotify and Apple Music, your sound where you can modify your output device, voice chat volume, disable your game chat audio, and your music and video volume, along with muting your microphone or adjusting your mic level, and being able to adjust your accessories such as your controllers, microphones, and webcams. It should also be noted that you can take a look at your profile and shut down the game and shut down your system or put it into sleep mode. And that isn't the only thing you can do with your PlayStation menu either, as you can also press customize, which will have 3 additional settings, which are called hidden controls, for your PlayStation menu. So you could have your broadcast for streaming, your accessibility, and even accessing the network as well within your PlayStation menu hotbar. So that's very nice to have in addition to the PlayStation 5. It's also worth noting that load times on the PlayStation 5, even after extended use, are still lickety split. I'm talking about 5 seconds between warping to different areas and back. There's like no load time, which is an obvious improvement over the PlayStation 4. So overall load times have been basically reduced to only 5 seconds or less, which obvious improvement over PlayStation 4, needless to say. Another thing that the PlayStation 5 has to offer is the media section, where you can download and watch your Disney Plus, Netflix, Hulu, Prime, Apple TV, and there's a segment dedicated to the apps that you own. And also at the search, you can search for anything including your games, movies, TV shows, players, and more. Then of course you have your profile, but when you make your way into the settings, there's a few new features that the PlayStation 5 has. The first one I want to go over is the console storage. The console storage allows you to check your games, your previous recordings and screenshots, your save data, and other miscellaneous memory as well. However, the one thing that I do have to point out that is a gripe is the fact that with games like Demon's Souls, each of your characters are different unique characters with save files. Usually in other Souls games, you're able to delete a specific select character that you don't want to have anymore. Unfortunately for Demon's Souls, this is not the case, and if you try to go in to delete the characters manually, you will only have the option to delete all of your save data. This is not the fault of From Software or Bluepoint Games. This is an issue with the PlayStation 5. I don't know if this persists with other PlayStation 5 exclusive games, since not many in the market right now run off of the custom character save files, but if there ever are any in the future, I'll keep you updated. Now, broadcasts and captures are basically very similar to what they were on the hotbar. However, when you go to broadcasting, as your captures, basically you could do everything here that you can do on the hotbar, including selecting what kind of format you want your videos to be in. And auto captures basically is really cool. I wish that the PlayStation 4 had this, but I can understand why they didn't. Basically, auto captures is really for trophies and challenges. So when you obtain a trophy in a game, once you obtain that trophy, there will be like a 15-second clip of you right before you got the trophy, showing action what you did to get it. So that's pretty cool. It'll also ask you a few other settings within that, but broadcasting is really where it's interesting. And I really wish I would take advantage of it earlier, as you can change your video quality, your audio, your camera, your overlays, and chat to speech. But you can basically show your webcam if you have one to plug into your PlayStation 5, which is very nice. Thankfully, there is a chroma key here. You can choose your size. You can mirror your face cam, add effects like chroma key, adjust your brightness, your contrast, your transparency, and overall, PS5 has made streaming for players who don't really have as much gear very, very convenient. So that's a very nice touch that the PlayStation 5 has. And yes, this is for streaming with YouTube and Twitch. Now, for me, what I've been using to stream is OBS with Remote Play, and overall, that has worked out fine enough for me, and I find it to be pretty convenient since I can record my whole stream as well and have it right there on my PC ready to go. It should also be noted that in your accessories, you can go and dabble around with your keyboard, your mouse, your camera, and other controllers and settings like that with your accessories. In your system, you can see your system software, HDMI, change your language, change your time and date, mess around with your remote play settings. Power saving, however, is very interesting, as setting a time for your as you can set a specific time for your PS5 to enter rest mode, but you can change that. Also, there's features in rest mode as well, as long as a set time until controllers turn off too, which is pretty power efficient. So that's nice that they have that. Also, for web browsing, you can allow your cookies and enable JavaScript, along with deleting your cookies and clearing your web data and preventing cross-site tracking. So it's nice that the PlayStation 5 gives us this many settings compared to what the PS5 had. Okay, so on an ending note, before we wrap up this video, I think my final impressions on the PlayStation 5 and overall if it's worth it, if you're buying it at the right price, at the price it's retailed, absolutely worth it. Next gen console is amazing. The times that it takes, the loading times on PlayStation 5 are like non-existent. It's like 5 seconds at most, lickety split. So fast compared to PlayStation 4. In Bloodborne especially, I noticed it because I played a bit of Bloodborne, pretty much every Souls game on my PlayStation 5. And it also is worth mentioning as well that the speed of the PlayStation 5 is there. Loading times are basically non-existent. 5-second loading times, fantastic. However, transferring your data between your PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5 also is very easy and effective as well. Just give it like 20 to 25 minutes and all your data from your PS4 is on your PS5. So yeah, PlayStation 5 weighs about 9.5 pounds, which is pretty close to 10 pounds. So it's a pretty heavy console, but because of all the power it packs and all the advantages you have over the PlayStation 5, it's no wonder that this console is so much bigger and better and doesn't emulate the grill from the Krusty Krab. On another note, knowing a console specs isn't my type of thing. However, I will put up a chart right now of the PlayStation 5 specs in case you nerds out there really do want to know, even though you could easily look that up yourself. For all, the PlayStation 5, for its retail price if you get it, is definitely worth it. As a next generation console, it's not perfect obviously, but it still is very impressive, and my experience with it has been extremely positive. I've been waiting so long to get one of these and playing Demon Souls, and I'm finally glad that I got to experience it, and now I brought that to you guys. So, if you guys did enjoy this video, do be sure to hit me up with a like, especially if you got value from today's content. Also, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell if you guys want more tech reviews, gaming, Souls. I do it all here. Notification Squad, I'm looking at you. So you guys never miss when my videos drop, because I am not done doing content on the PlayStation 5 and other analyzations about it either, so definitely stay tuned for when I upload those. Overall, I know a lot of you guys did want input on the PlayStation 5, so I hope this does help further your buying decision, just based off of personal experience. But yeah, share this video with all of your friends if you haven't already. I appreciate it a lot if you guys do that, because it helps me with my content on the channel. And if you have any questions or I missed something, let me know in the comment sections below. I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say. Are you guys going to get a PlayStation 5 anyways? Are you going to buy it from a scalper? Let me know in the comment sections below. But until next time, thank you guys so much for watching this extensive review of the PlayStation 5. I can't wait to see you guys next time. And yeah, peace.